When women can't control their cravings. Have you ever been next to a woman and felt something shift in the air, like the moment had changed, even though no words were spoken? She seems calm, but there's something different. Her breathing is faster, her cheeks just a little more flushed, her gaze slightly longer than usual. And you can't help but wonder, is she feeling something deeper? Most men miss these subtle signals, but once you know how to recognize them, you'll never look at a moment of intimacy the same way again. Welcome to Live Stoic, Live Strong, where we trade illusions for truth, where emotions are felt but not obeyed, where clarity is power and discipline is freedom. This is not just a channel, it's a mindset. It's a journey of conscious living. Let's begin. The night Megan let go. Her name was Megan, a woman who had spent nearly her entire life mastering the quiet strength of self-control. She was the kind of woman who walked through the world with elegance and precision, composed in meetings, measured in relationships, careful even in the way her eyes lingered during conversation. Megan didn't just hold herself together, she held back. Always. To her, control wasn't just a virtue, it was protection. And desire? That was a flame you learned to contain. Something you observed from a safe distance, never something you surrendered to. But one evening changed that. There was no grand confession. No passionate kiss in the rain. It wasn't dramatic at all. It was something far more powerful, stillness. She was sitting across from someone who didn't try to chase her walls down. He didn't charm, perform, or persuade. He just sat there, present, calm, real. And for the first time in a long time, Megan felt seen, not for what she showed, but for what she hid. The atmosphere shifted. Her breathing slowed, deepened. Her laughter came easier, richer, warmer. Her body, usually on edge, started to melt into the moment. And then, something subtle. A pause, a glance. He looked into her eyes, and in that quiet second between words, her pupils expanded. It was a whisper of the body, a fleeting shift. But to a man who noticed, it said everything. That night, she didn't cross her arms. She didn't adjust her blouse to shield herself. She didn't lean away. She let her guard fall. Not because she lost control, but because for once, she didn't feel the need to protect herself. She wasn't craving to be admired. She was longing to feel understood. And somehow, in that silence, she found permission to just be fully, freely, vulnerably herself. That's the thing about women like Megan. When they finally allow themselves to feel, not just in thought, but in body and breath, it's not weakness. It's strength wearing no armor. Because sometimes, letting go is the most courageous thing a woman can do. From the bottom of my heart, I want to express my sincere gratitude to each and every one of you, no matter where you are in the world, for taking the time to watch this video. Your presence and support are the driving force that keeps me creating and sharing. No words can truly capture the depth of my appreciation. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing, and thank you for walking this journey with me. Understanding when a woman is truly turned on can make a world of difference, both in how you connect with her emotionally and how you move together physically. But here's the catch. Women rarely show desire the same way men do. While a few might be more direct, most express their feelings with subtlety, grace, and discretion. That's why this video is not about the obvious physical changes that happen to a woman's body. We're going deeper. I'm going to walk you through 4 scientifically backed, non-obvious signs that tell you exactly when a woman is entering a state of desire. These are signs many men overlook, but once you see them, you won't be able to unsee them. Sign number 1, her breathing. When a woman feels aroused, her breathing naturally shifts. It becomes deeper, more rapid, like a quiet storm brewing inside her. It might not be dramatic at first glance, but if you're close enough, maybe sitting together in a dim room or a tight space, you'll notice that gentle rise and fall of her chest, the soft, fast inhalations. It's not just normal breathing. It's her body asking for more oxygen because her heart is beating faster in response to stimulation. No medical equipment needed, no heart monitor, no lab coat. Just you being fully present, close enough to notice her subtle signals. Perhaps it was a whisper, an image, or a soft brush of skin that triggered it. But if her breathing picks up when you're near, chances are her body is responding to you. Sign number 2, rising temperature and flushed skin. When arousal kicks in, blood circulation increases dramatically. The first place you'll often see this is her face. You may notice a pink hue spreading across her cheeks, her neck, or even her ears. It's not embarrassment. It's desire speaking through her skin. It's a natural, uncontrollable response to internal excitement. Ever held a woman's hand and noticed how warm it suddenly became? Or hugged her and felt a sudden rise in body heat? That warmth isn't random. It's biology in motion. Her body is inviting connection, reacting to your touch in real time. The blood is flowing, her temperature is climbing, and without a single word, her body is telling you, I feel this. Sign number 3, an accelerated heartbeat. Yes, it's linked to her breathing, but don't confuse the two. Her heart races when she's genuinely excited or emotionally charged. This increase in heart rate isn't just physical, it's emotional. It could be nervous anticipation, desire, or that fluttering feeling we all get when something special is happening. Think of it like this. Her cells are demanding more oxygen, preparing for what's to come. Whether it's from your touch, your words, or even just your presence, her body is reacting at a cellular level, and you'll know. That sudden warmth in her chest, or the pulse in her wrist as you hold her hand, it's not just coincidence. Sign number 4, dilated pupils. This one's subtle, but incredibly powerful. When a woman is turned on, her pupils widen, her eyes shimmer a bit more, and her gaze lingers a bit longer. It's an ancient, biological response, her body allowing more light in, heightening focus, deepening connection. Her eyes may seem darker, more magnetic. And in that gaze, you'll find confirmation without a single word being said. Now you might be thinking, okay, I see the signs, but how do I know they're meant for me? That's a crucial question, and it leads us to something even deeper: how emotional connection and trust shape a woman's response, because signs without context, they're just signals in the dark. So far, we've uncovered 4 powerful signs that reveal a woman's desire, from faster breathing to that magnetic gaze. But there's more, much more, hidden beneath the surface, waiting for those who know how to truly observe. Let's go back to that gaze for a moment. Imagine this. You're looking into her eyes and suddenly you notice they widen ever so slightly. Her pupils are no longer their normal size. They've dilated. And it happens right when she locks eyes with you. Coincidence? Not quite. When a woman's pupils expand while she's looking at you, it can be a clear sign she's experiencing physical attraction. Not always sexual, but certainly drawn in by something. Maybe it's your voice, maybe your confidence. Or perhaps she's captivated by the curve of your arms, your posture, or the strength in your presence. Biologically, this dilation is the body's involuntary response to stimulation. Just like how your heart races when you're nervous or excited, her eyes are reacting before she even says a word. Interestingly, when women are sexually aroused, their pupils often dilate even more. It's subtle, yes, and spotting it? Not easy, unless you're the kind of man who pays attention, who notices the little things most people miss. But that's not all. There's another sign, one that's even more discreet, one that doesn't show in the eyes, the breath, or the blush on her skin. It's in her scent. Yes, that's right, her body odor. But not the kind you're thinking of. This is something entirely different. When a woman is truly aroused, her body begins to release special chemicals, natural, invisible messengers called pheromones. These are volatile compounds that mix with sweat, traveling through the air silently, and yet they speak volumes. These pheromones are nature's way of saying, I'm open, I'm drawn to you, I'm ready. And men? They respond, often without realizing it. These subtle scents can spark a sense of intimacy, comfort, and connection that words could never achieve. It's not perfume. It's not lotion. It's her body's pure, unfiltered signal of desire. In fact, studies have shown that when a woman is at the peak of fertility, her skin releases a particular scent, one that affects the male brain, often increasing attraction, even arousal. It's chemistry, literally. So if you ever find yourself inexplicably drawn to a woman, feeling closer, more connected, ask yourself, is it her words, her presence, or is there something even deeper at play? Something primal, silent, and seductive in the air between you. So now you know. The 5 foundational scientific signs that a woman is entering a state of desire. Shortness of breath. Rising body temperature and blush. Accelerated heart rate. Dilated pupils. Release of pheromone-rich body scent. Each one is subtle on its own, but together, they form a powerful, undeniable message. A message that says, I want more. But here's the question that takes us deeper. How do you respond to these signs in a way that makes her feel safe, seen, and desired, without crossing the line? So now you know, when a woman's body begins to whisper through breath, temperature, and even scent, it means something is shifting, but there's more. Beyond biology, women reveal desire through the most subtle gestures and behaviors, if you're observant enough to notice. In addition to those 5 scientific signs, I've also shared, especially in earlier videos, other cues that are just as revealing. These signs don't come from physiology, but from body language, from the way a woman behaves when she's with you. Let's begin with one of the most important, the loss of alertness. Normally, when a woman isn't interested or doesn't feel safe, she automatically enters what I call the resistance zone. She becomes cautious, subtle but guarded. She might smile politely, even talk normally, but she keeps her physical and emotional boundaries intact. For example, if she's wearing a slightly open shirt, she'll instinctively adjust it, pulling it up to cover more skin. If you get too close, she'll create distance, casually but deliberately. This isn't rudeness, it's protection. It's her subconscious signaling, not yet, not now. But when that resistance zone disappears, when she begins to let her guard down, it's a powerful shift. When a woman feels stimulated, turned on, or emotionally open, she doesn't maintain the same level of alertness. Her body relaxes. Her responses soften. She no longer feels the need to cover up. In fact, she might even dress in a way that draws attention, revealing just a little more skin, especially around the sensitive areas. Not by accident, but with intent. It's her unspoken invitation. Now here's another subtle but revealing behavior: her willingness to engage in provocative conversation. There's a form of verbal foreplay that many men overlook. It's not about vulgarity for the sake of being crude. It's about testing the waters, gently introducing slightly suggestive language, and observing how she responds. A man who understands female psychology knows how to use tone, implication, and language to open the door. If she leans in, responding, smiling, maybe even flirting back with words that carry a hint of boldness, it's a sign, a very clear one. But if you drop a provocative remark and she goes silent, shifts the topic, or gives you a half-hearted smile with no energy behind it, then no, she's not in that space. Not yet. Not with you. The difference between the two: it's not about whether she's good or bad. It's about readiness, comfort, emotional openness. And finally, perhaps most fascinating of all, is this. When a woman is aroused, she becomes hypersensitive to male behavior. Every wink, every smile, every subtle gesture becomes amplified in her perception. In this state, her senses are on high alert, not to protect herself, but to receive, to interpret, to feel. Even small things, a playful smirk, a glance that lingers half a second too long, don't go unnoticed. A woman in this heightened state can almost read your mind through your body language. Things that once seemed vague or confusing now feel unmistakably clear to her. Isn't it fascinating how the same woman who once seemed mysterious or hard to read can suddenly become so in tune, so responsive? Desire isn't always loud. Sometimes it whispers. If you learn to listen, not just with your ears, but with presence, patience, and purpose, you'll understand a woman in ways most men never will. Because true strength isn't in chasing. It's in sensing, in respecting, in knowing when to move and when to hold. So be the man who doesn't rush. Be the man who reads the silence. And when the moment comes, don't just take. Connect. Live with depth. Live with clarity. Thank you for your time. If an idea in this video touched you, let it settle in your heart. Each time you return, you might hear something new. Perhaps it will reach even deeper. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. See you in the next video, where we'll take another step together on this journey of inner discovery.